Storytellers time. Hello,
is that your storyteller voice?
Beautiful woman. No, it is just today.
Hello, handsome men.
Welcome back to This Whole Life and a Storytellers episode. I'm in a great mood because I get to hear a story from you, my beloved, today, which is a rare treat on these Storytellers episodes. Yeah. I get to hear all kinds of stories about your life, but the good people of This Whole Life's audience do not get access to the stories of your life as much as I do. So here's what I would like to hear about. You are the product of many great people, including two grandmothers who are on the surface very, very different.
Yeah.
But have influenced you in very particular ways. So would you tell us some grandma stories, please?
Yeah. So first of all, I think it's really fun to say that our oldest daughter is named after my two grandmas. Like, that's how important my grandmas have been to me.
Yep.
And the second thing I will say is I will probably cry on this episode. And so if you could just have a hanky handy for me, that'd be really great.
I literally do not.
Maybe your coat. Maybe hand me your coat.
Great.
But both of my grandmothers have gone from this life, and I trust are enjoying the eternal reward. And like you said, so different. My one grandma, born and raised in the Midwest. My other grandma, of Korean descent. And thank you for the glove. That's like really chivalrous.
I gave you my glove as a tissue. That's right. Lay the glove at your feet.
My other grandma, Korean descent, raised in Hawaii. So yeah, maybe couldn't be more different for being U.S. grandmas. And so remarkably profound. Like, I continue to think about just how deeply I was impacted by them. So my grandma Rita died when I was between my sophomore and junior year of college. And then my grandma Ella just died in the summer of 2022, Mother's Day, actually, of 2022. And things that I remember about them. So the story is like things that I remember. So one of my first memories with my grandma and my grandpa are swimming in the Pacific Ocean, which not everyone can say. Like
most of us.
Yeah. I was 4, and there was a bay that we would swim in. And in Hawaii, like close to the shoreline, if you've ever been in these bays, there are little, like, I assume they're like little bits of lava that have like popped up and are like molten, right? They've hardened.
Probably. Yeah. What do I know?
And as like a little fish of a 4-year-old who truly, I cannot remember a time that I didn't swim, my grandma, my grandpa, and I would swim out to these little pop-up islands. Like, truly, like, we could just like rest our elbows on them. Like, we could all like sit around them, like maybe the size of a dining room table, like the average dining room table. And just like so joyful, so curious, so free. I felt so comfortable in the water. And just, her delight in that time. It was such a joyful time, and being in like the beauty of God's creation. Just feel really grateful about that. The other thing I will say is I also remember that my grandma would do my hair in the morning, and I had really long hair. It's really common for people in Hawaii to have long, like waist length, knee length hair. Okay. And she would always do it with wet hands, and it would like tug. You're not a girl, so you don't understand this.
I don't.
But like it would just like tug and pull, and it was so painful.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'd be like, Grandma.
So
but anyways,
I should have more sympathy with our girls when they scream and cry about having their hair done in the morning.
Or just dry your hands, okay?
Okay,
dry. But all that aside, Grandma Ella, she's a rock star. Love her so much, and got to spend a lot of quality time with her toward the end of her life. We had the mercy of knowing that her life was coming to an end, and being able to spend time with her. But that's what I think of. Truly, one of my first memories is swimming in the ocean with her and my grandpa Jimmy. My grandma Rita, I met when my parents married when I was about that age, actually 4. And she was just so good to me. Like, I don't know. She wasn't like she wasn't like a people pleasing peacemaker type, like the person who, is afraid of conflict or afraid of hurting your feelings or whatever. She just really had a way of being with me in my upset feelings, usually towards my parents, and like not making them the bad guy and truly consoling me. Like she didn't, she somehow resisted taking sides. And so back in the day, our kids don't understand this, but back in the day, you paid for long distance phone calls.
Oh yeah.
And there were things
By the
like
minute.
peak times and off peak times. And so on off peak times, we had the little number that we could dial to get like a discounted long distance call, whatever. And I would call my grandma Rita and just like, you know, probably lament my parents and their injustices and, you know, what have you. And she just had this way of all my angsty teenage years of being able to soothe me without getting stuck in the content. Maybe that's where my process over content obsession started. It's like, Grandma Rita, like I'm living your legacy.
This is
right
your origin
now.
story. Hey.
This is
Wow.
my theoretical origin story.
Yep.
So she, unfortunately had cancer when I was in college. And I remember the last phone call that I got to have with her was, I was on my cell phone boarding a plane to come home from spring of sophomore year. And I was telling her about how finals went and what have you. And I did not feel great. I'm pretty sure that's when I got my worst grade on a final ever that semester in my Chinese philosophy class. And she was just like, again, just so good at reminding me like, there's more to life. There's a bigger picture. You know, I didn't feel dismissed, but just so good. And I think the thing that really strikes me, especially now, Pat, as we have children who are coming into their teenage years and all of that is like, I know my parents had tough stuff going on with their parents, and they saw the good in supporting and cultivating relationship between me and my grandparents, especially my grandmas. And I just like, I just, that is such a gift that, I needed them. I needed someone other than my parents to like speak some truths and to be this presence in my life. And so I'm just really grateful that my parents didn't let their stuff become my stuff. And they really encouraged me and supported me in having long distance relationships with my grandmas. Like I lived across an ocean and out of state and all the things. So those are my stories today. Ode to grandmas. I don't know if this is going to release near Mother's Day, but maybe it should.
Ode to grandmas. Oh, that's so sweet. I love that.
I love you.
I love
you, my grandmas.
the true like self-giving love that I am always very impressed in a different type of relationship, a different setting, when there is a marriage that has ended tragically, unfortunately, but when the former spouses can still see the great value in their ex-spouse being very much a presence in their children's life, if they have kids. And I've heard a bunch of very like, you know, very aware of the hurt, but also with some good clarity, I think, saying like they need their dad, they need their mom. And
they don't need me to sabotage their image of their dad or their mom.
Right. Yeah. So a totally different situation, but I love the, you know, for all of the fallenness of human nature and the weaknesses of all the people involved, the charity for your parents to be able to say like, it is good and healthy and wonderful for grandma to have a great relationship with granddaughter and vice versa, you know? Yeah. And what a gift to you.
Thanks for letting me have some story time.
You're very welcome. Thank you for sharing. Yep. God bless you.